It has been a very tough week for crypto, with Bitcoin crashing all the way down to 109,000, Ethereum reaching 3,800, and a lot of altcoins literally crashing 30, 40, 50%. And you're probably wondering, oh, who could have possibly warned me about this crash? Well, actually, I did. The title of my last video was literally Short Bitcoin at 118,000. As you can clearly see, I had given you this setup for a short trade on this point of control, which you can see has been hit perfectly, and from there we had a massive crash. Let's not forget that I also warned you about Ethereum going down all the way to 3,800, and that I would have been buying this area when Ethereum was still at 4,200. And I've actually been buying this crash. I actually got the exact bottom on Ethereum at 3,830, and we've had a pretty nice bounce from there. And then last thing, I also had given you a short trade on Avax at $36, which also played out perfectly and was the exact top. And as you can see, my members are printing on this Avax short. Now, as usual, let's see the new trades that I have taken and that I am interested in. So actually, at this moment, I'm in this short trade on Bitcoin from 110,000. And this was a very simple setup. We had this range that was formed, and very simple, we go above the range, take the liquidity, close back below. That's a short trade. So this was the trade, very simple invalidation above the wick with target to the lower part of the range. Also, considering that yesterday was a Friday, which means start of the weekend, I usually like to have a short trade during the weekend, especially when we have crashes like this, because typically you see continuation. And ever since we've re-entered this volume range, and we have been literally trading between the value area low, the value area high, the point of control, value area high again, and now we're moving back down to the value area low. And at this point, we're actually at the point of control, which I would love to see retested, and I would love to see for another touch of the value area low, perhaps losing it, flipping it into resistance, and then continuing down to this weekly as a first target. And then what I would like to see, since I'm in a pretty big short trade, is for these lows to be taken out again. And here we would have to check if we have, as usual, what I tell you, a failed auction, or we go below, chill, go back above and take a long trade. Or if we have a simple sweep of liquidity, also called an SFP, go back above and trade it again for a long trade. And as I've mentioned many times, if we do lose this level and flip it into resistance, I do expect for Bitcoin to possibly go all the way back down to 96K. And that would be really great for my short trade, since I would make about $20,000. So I feel pretty protected. If I get stopped out, I only lose $800, 162 of which I already took as profit. So I would only lose about $600. So I would say that it's a great protection to have, just in case we see a bigger crash. So that's it for Bitcoin. Ethereum, very simple. I already explained that I will be interested in buying anything between 3,800 to 3,300, let's say. All this area is very interesting for me. So if we keep going down, I would just be buying and be buying, looking for a reversal eventually. And once again, if this area does not hold, do expect Ethereum to start dying, probably back towards 2,500. Also, let's keep in mind that if we are to keep above this level right here, and if this was the bottom, I would expect a reversal from here. Obviously, I have not added 100,000 like I wanted to. I think I added about $10,000, but that's just trading. You don't always get your levels. However, I want to show you some altcoins that I'm really interested in for some swing trades. First of all, Solana, I had told my community that I was only interested in buying this area at 200 if we were to keep above this level. As you can see, we have clearly gone below it, and now we're retesting it as resistance. And therefore, my only interesting trade is going to be at around $150. All this area is huge support, and I would expect, especially with the idea that Ethereum will be holding between 3,800 and 3,300, this I think would make a really great trade on Solana, and I will be buying a lot of it right here if we do get this level. So I'm going to set an alert here at 150. And yeah, once again, I will be buying this heavily. Then we have Avax. If you look at my account, it's actually pretty insane because I sold the top ones, I bought the bottom, I resold what I had bought here at the top once again. I actually did take a short trade on futures that I closed a little bit too early, around like 32, but it's whatever. And now I started buying back in spot. And do keep in mind that I still expect for Avax to have another crash. I mean, look at this. We literally re-entered this volume range, lost it. Now we're back testing it. This could have been a short trade, to be honest, but I'm not interested in that. And now I would expect for this to move down to $23, where once again, I will be interested with the correct reaction to take a massive swing trade and take this back to $35 and above. Just keep in mind that my higher target is going to be about $45 if we get back to this level and flip it into support. Then I would expect something like this. But of course, first we need to see if we can get to 23, have a good reaction, and take this back up. So I will be setting an alert for this trade. And then lastly, I'm going to cover high because I have an interesting trade coming up here. I actually already bought this touch of the anchor VWAP right here. For now, it seems to be the low, but I'm still expecting a move lower. So as you can see, I did pretty much buy the low of the move. I made about $700 so far. I sold a little bit at the top, which was a good trade. It was at like 3 a.m. so I did not send it to my... But yeah, ultimately, if on hype, we're able to get a little bit more of a retracement into this area at about $38, $37, I will be interested with the right reaction to take this back up. Obviously, there will be take profits along the way. And I also wanted to mention that I am interested in a short trade on this at about 48, so something like this, to take this down to my target first. And so then optimally we would have a little bit more of a push, get into our short trade to then take it into a long trade. And this would be the perfect scenario. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. If it does, if we do get to these prices and I get the right reaction, I will be taking both trades. So I'm setting an alert for $47 that I actually already had, and I am setting an alert for $38. Obviously, context will change a lot. If first we get the drop and we get this long trade, then I would be interested in taking majority of a take profit around 47. If instead we first get the short trade and then the long trade, then I would be looking for higher targets. So yeah, I hope everything is clear. Do keep in mind that I have a free Discord that you can join using the link in my description. As you can see, I just send all my signals here and my trades way before they come out on YouTube. Usually once it comes out on YouTube is a little bit too late. All you need to do is sign up with my link on Blowfin, where I actually give you a bonus if you deposit on the app and sign up with my link. And yeah, you will have access to this free Discord where I send all my signals. You can see people are making profits. They are pretty happy, I would say. And yeah, so I hope to see you inside the Discord.